This is the first ever FIFA. I just lied. This is FIFA 2005. This is the first ever FIFA. And this isn't even the oldest game we're playing today. I'm sick of adults always telling me that video games were better when they were kids, because I don't believe them. I prefer the games that were around when I was a kid, so who's actually right? I'm gonna test the highest rated football game from the 80s up to the 2020s, so we can decide once and for all which decade is the best. We know that video games don't necessarily get better over time, and my biggest fear is that I find out that I was born in the wrong generation after all. Okay, I just lied again, it's death. Dying's my biggest fear. Anyway, there's only one way to find out who's right, so let's go back in time. The 80s is a strange time for football games. FIFA doesn't exist yet, so for now the best and only football game is International Soccer, released on the Commodore. Commodore 64? Is that how you pronounce it?
Commodore 64 Computer FL.
Luckily, however, it has been remastered on Mac, which is a win-win in my books. You can see my screen being recorded, and I can save money. Retro consoles are weirdly expensive, it turns out. I'm meant to be dressed like a kid from the 80s. Clearly style hadn't been invented. Each game we have to complete a challenge, and my challenge here is to score from outside of the box, which for a game where you can't even see the goal from outside of the box makes me think we could be here a while. Straight off the bat though, this game throws you a massive curveball. Wait, what? How long do you want to play for? Oh, this is like in the movies where you talk to the computer. I have a maximum of 30 minutes, so 30? Nice, I'm in. This is so cool. I don't really get the point of that, and to determine which game is truly the best, we'll be giving each a score for graphics, gameplay, and enjoyment, which will give us a total at the end. Graphics for a game like this are complicated. On the one hand, they're so bad here, you could literally count the amount of pixels on a player, which I actually did. The answer's 99. I mean, look at me. How can you say I'm not a hardworking YouTuber? But we can't be too harsh. I mean, this game came out when most games look like this. And so I think if we're being fair, the graphics get us 7 out of 10. Okay, long shot number 1. Come on, that's... I think my own teammates just blocked that. Yeah. So for some reason, this is actually a thing in the game. Players on your own team are constantly just playing against you. Okay, we're aiming for the corner this time. No, my teammates just blocked it again. But aside from that minor issue, there isn't much wrong here. Because there's hardly any controls, it's so easy to learn. After about 10 minutes, I was essentially the prime ninja of this 80s game. Come on, this time, surely. Come on, yes. Yes, finally. Oh my God. Catch-up was nearly blocked as well, by the way. I can't get over this. But yeah, I enjoyed this game way more than I thought I would. I can picture myself as a kid in the 80s playing this game for hours. As a kid, playing games is just for passing the time, really. I mean, you have nothing else to worry about. Maybe adults do have a point. It's the 90s. I had to Google what a teenager wore in the 90s, and this was the first result. Did people just not know how to dress? Good news though, I think. The very first FIFA has just been released, FIFA International Soccer. This is before EA started naming the games after the year they came out, so just think of this as FIFA 94. But here's the real twist. This is also before the PS1. And so anyone who wants to play this game has to do so on the Nintendo GameBoy. It's very small. I promise you guys it's here. Altogether, this cost me about 60 quid. You'd think a handheld, which can't even display colour, would be worth less. That's what I thought. It's the 90s, I'm a teenager now, and playing games now is less about passing the time than it is taking my mind off things, like worrying about my future. I mean, that's coming up. But in typical EA fashion, this game looks like a huge step down from what I had in the 80s. So my goal here is just to score a goal. This game did bring a few new things to the table though. You can now change the weather between dry and drenched, which seems pretty dramatic, and change the surface between grass and artificial, which it probably doesn't make it. However, the graphics on display here are the worst I think I've ever seen in a game before. There truly is nothing redeemable about this besides the fact it came out in 1994. Like, I can't even make out which players are mine. We're 20 minutes in and I'm still trying to figure out which team I'm on. All the players just look the same. Oh my god, this is really bad. I think it's safe to say that EA were really starting as they meant to continue with this game. I'm honestly a little pissed nobody from the 90s warned me what I'd be getting myself into. I can't kick the ball, I can't see the ball, and worst of all, I've just figured out I'm playing as Team USA. Much like my dad when he sees me buying rival teams merchandise for videos, I thought this game was a disappointment. Oh my god, wait, the ball's on the line, just shoot! Tap it in! Yes! Oh my god! I'm not even happy I scored, I'm just happy the game's over. Compared to the 80s, this actually doesn't put up much of a fight somehow. And I can't imagine a teenager in the 90s would have had nearly as much fun on this as they would have had playing international soccer. I just wish I could have spent more time as a kid in the 80s. Things were so much better back then. But it's not the 80s anymore. In fact, it's not the 90s anymore either. I'm a man now, so I guess that means by default I'll be wearing a shirt and tie for the rest of my life and starting the day with some coffee. I don't even like coffee, I just made it like this for dramatic effect. Anyway, according to IGN, FIFA 2005 has a rating of 8.6. So, like a man whose social life extends as far as his parents, I decided to buy myself a PlayStation 2. Twice. Yeah, the first one I bought from eBay, it doesn't work, so I had to buy another, so I can't feed my wife and 6 children. On the cover of FIFA 2005 is Shevchenko, a Spanish player, and Patrick Vieira, who, if you remember, won the Invincible season the year before with Arsenal, actually lifting the title at White Hart Lane. I've always been thankful I have no recollection of that. I was not even what. But as a Spurs fan, my challenge here is to get revenge and win the North London derby. The step up from the Game Boy to this is absurd. Like, can you imagine a 10-year jump going from playing FIFA like this to this? I mean, a man in the 2000s would have been so amazed he'd probably just marry his PS2 on the spot. This is actually just really sad. I gotta go find myself a girlfriend. This game actually added so much too. Players are now 3D. You can pause the game, which I don't know why it took them so long to add that actually. And you get separate animations for set pieces. To be honest, I think I'd just be sad I missed out on playing a game like this growing up. Hey, maybe I was right about games being better when I was a kid. This is also the first game where teams and players had their own individual stats, and they are really strange. The highest rated player in FIFA 2005 is Thierry Henry, he's 97 rated. I know he was good, but the highest Messi and Ronaldo have ever been is 94. That feels wrong, EA. And my centre backs are 74 rated and 78 rated Ledley King. Brilliant. The game functions so similar to how FIFA does decades in the future too. Yeah, go on. Cut in. Shoot! Yes! Khan! Let's go! Canute! I had no idea you played for Tottenham. All the controls and camera angles are the same. Not that much is different. Right, Jamie Redknapp, I want this top bins. Come on. Ooh! Nearly. It feels like I've been playing this game my entire life. God, Defoe! 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 And because of that, this game was a piece of cake, really. I mean, I could just pick it up and play it as if nothing had really changed at all. And pretty convincingly too, I ended up winning the derby 3-0. So yeah, you may have won the Premier League without losing a single game, but I just beat you on FIFA 2005 as a grown man, so I'm the real winner here. Surely time's up now. Surely. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, let's go. FIFA 2005 honestly shocked me with how much I enjoyed it. It's just a shame that an adult who grew up with these games wouldn't have as much time to play it. You know, sometimes I just wish I had all the time in the world to enjoy the things I love. Maybe my life would be better if I just lived forever. Google says a midlife crisis is a transition of identity and self-confidence, and it kind of scares me. Like, I can't even recognize myself anymore. The highest rated football game of the 2010s is FIFA 14 by a mile. It has an average score of 86 and 96% of critics recommend it. And we're finally on a console I own. The PS4. This has been sat under my bed for the last 2 years, and I've just kissed it. FIFA 14 is widely regarded as the greatest football game ever, but it is notorious for having an insanely hard legendary AI difficulty, and so my goal here is to beat the game on legendary AI difficulty. Damn, that was actually a really poorly constructed sentence. Having played FIFA 2005, the improvements aren't as big as I thought. Like, if we compare the jump from the 90s to the 2000s and then the 2000s to the 2010s, you can see what I mean when I say these games aren't that different. The gameplay is... You can't need to play it yourself to feel it, but this game is honestly so much faster than all the games before. It actually took me a bit of time to readjust. I can see why people said ultimate difficulty was hard. I mean, I don't think I've been into the other person's heart. There's probably no hope of me scoring, but I can still appreciate FIFA 14 for having good gameplay. But this match was tough. I had a bit more possession in the second half, but nothing came from it. Nothing really happened in the game. I ended up drawing it 0-0, meaning I'd failed the challenge, which was pretty disheartening. I think when people say they miss how games were, what they really mean is they miss how their lives were when they played those games. I just wish there was a way to know you're in the good times before they're gone. The 2020s are a really weird decade for football games. But we're on the PS5 now, so that's a relief. The highest rated football game of this decade is FIFA 22, which has an average score of 78. And because I failed at beating the legendary AI in FIFA 14, that's now my goal here. I started playing normally until I scored my first goal. Maybe neither me or the adults were right. Maybe these games haven't really changed at all. Our time is special because it doesn't last forever. And if that's the case, I'm going to cherish every moment as much as I possibly can. And if I do that, then I have nothing to be afraid of.